If you're moving to Charlotte or investing here and want to make a wise financial decision, the biggest mistake you can make is buying where growth has already happened instead of where it's headed next. Because once everyone agrees an area is hot, the appreciation has usually already been captured. Right now in Charlotte, there are a few areas that are quietly transforming. Some are organic, some are planned, some are misunderstood, but all of them have something in common, and that's development momentum. Today, I'm breaking down the 4 areas in Charlotte that are developing the fastest and where I believe you can expect the strongest appreciation over the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm going to explain why, not just throw neighborhood names at you. Hype doesn't create appreciation, infrastructure and demand do. If we haven't met yet, I'm Cameron. I work with buyers and investors across the country, and one of the biggest things I help clients think through is not just where to buy, but when and why an area is poised for growth. Before we dive into specific neighborhoods, let's talk about what actually causes appreciation. Appreciation doesn't just happen because a coffee shop has opened. It actually usually follows a pattern and follows infrastructure, it follows jobs, it follows walkability improvement, and large-scale capital investment, and it creates something that follows called price compression. Price compression happens when a desirable, expensive neighborhood pushes buyers outward and into the next closest area. That demand spillover creates upward pricing pressure, and that's when people start claiming that this is a hot area. I look at proximity to jobs, transit access, large-scale development plans, commercial investment, and whether there's a noticeable pricing gap compared to nearby established neighborhoods. When 2 or 3 of these factors line up at the same time, that's when you start to see meaningful appreciation. Let's start with West Charlotte, specifically the West End corridor. This is probably the most talked about in terms of growth right now, and also the most misunderstood. For years, this side of Uptown traded at significant discounts compared to neighborhoods just east of City Center or south. West Charlotte is incredibly well positioned. It's minutes from Uptown, it's closest to the airport, and there's been a steady redevelopment around the Johnson C. Smith University along Beatties Ford corridor. What's happening here isn't overnight transformation, it's gradual infill. Older homes are being renovated, torn down, and being replaced with new builds. Developers are assembling lots. You're actually seeing capital slowly move in. And historically, when one side of the city becomes expensive and supply is limited, demand doesn't disappear, it moves. That's what we're seeing here. Buyers who are priced out of Plaza Midwood or Dilworth are starting to look across Uptown. Now, here's the important part. This area is extremely block to block dependent. Some streets have transformed quickly, others are still in early stages. This is not a buy anywhere and win type of scenario. For buyers who understand the micro locations are thinking 5 to 10 years out, West Charlotte has serious long-term appreciation potential because of proximity alone. Now, let's talk about something completely different, the River District, somewhere where I live and just moved into, but unlike West Charlotte, which is organic and evolving naturally, the River District is planned growth. This is one of the largest master plan developments in all of Charlotte's pipeline and is the largest when we're talking today. We're talking thousands of residential units, retail, mixed-use components, and long-term infrastructure being built out near the airport. Now, there's gonna be grocery stores, there's gonna be commercial, retail, salons, cafes. It's got me excited. That's why I moved here, but not only do you have all this retail coming in, you also have a ton of planned parks and trails and things like that that's gonna make it a really nice setting for people to either visit or live in. Now, large-scale master planning doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of time, so we're gonna probably be in this type of development stage of the River District at least for the next 5 years, and it won't be fully developed until probably 8 to 10 years from now. And so that's why land value has been it's been skyrocketing lately, because people understand that, hey, if I can capture up as much land while we have this money flowing in, it's gonna be very fruitful for your investor. But when a developer commits to that type of scale of investment, roads get improved, utilities expand, and like I said, commercial is here to follow. The River District is not a quick flip play. This is gonna take years to develop. Historically, in major metro areas, buyers who enter master planned communities in early phases often see strong appreciation as the project matures. So, get in now. The trade-off though with that is that there is supply control. So builders will release homes in phases, which can temper extreme price spikes. So don't expect anything to happen overnight, but it'll be a long process. And any well-executed master planned communities tend to hold value because they create a cohesive lifestyle. Next, what we're going to talk about is Lower South End, now being dubbed LoSo. South End itself is no longer early. It's established, polished, and priced accordingly. But what's happening just south of it at its core is really interesting and where movement is happening. LoSo is benefiting from the spillover. It has light rail access, it has industrial to modern conversions, and it has everything you can think of, from breweries, adapted reuse space for younger demographics to move in. And you got the gym that I go to, High Fitness, is located there, but what you're seeing is pretty nuts. So here's a pattern that you'll see in almost every city. Transit-oriented development appreciates consistency over time. So because you have that walkability, you've got nightlife, employment proximity, and transit access, you're creating long-term demand. So right now, LoSo still trades below the core South End pricing, and that gap creates upward pressure as more buyers decide that they want proximity without paying that premium core pricing. So that's why you're seeing townhomes being built all over the LoSo area. And in my opinion, is actually pretty oversaturated right now for townhomes. But if you've got a single family in that area, you're gonna be killing it. Now, again, this is still transitioning, so some pockets will feel fully activated, while some others are kind of in that mid-conversion stage. But long-term, areas connected to this South Boulevard, South Tryon area are gonna do really well. The last area that is a little bit more subtle is the 28205 zip code. When I say 28205, people generally only think about Plaza, Midwood, and Noda, and I get it. These are the two most desirable areas in that area, in that zip code, and relatively in pretty much all of Charlotte too. But because of that desirability, you get that, again, gonna say it again, spillover into neighborhoods such as Plaza Shamrock, Sheffield Park, and Country Club Heights. They're a little bit less walkable, but priced significantly lower. This is a classic price compression territory. When an established neighborhood becomes too expensive, demand doesn't disappear, it just moves into one neighborhood outward. What you're seeing in these neighborhoods is renovation activity. So you're seeing a lot of homes being renovated, you get younger professionals moving in, and a lot of these mid-century modern homes, which is one of my personal favorites, are being turned over to be really cool renovated homes for that younger family, because most are about 15-ish hundred square feet. Your typical 3-bed, 2-bath. Some are 3-bed, 1-bath, but we're going off on a tangent. But again, if you're close to uptown, you're gonna be close to dining, nightlife, entertainment, anything you can think of, but you're not paying that Plaza Midwood pricing. That positioning is pretty powerful. The caution here is the housing. So gotta be careful of the condition, because many of these homes are older, so inspections matter, but long-term, adjacency to high demand neighborhoods tends to support the appreciation. So what do these 4 areas have in common? They're all positioned near employment, all benefiting from development and spillover, and they all have that pricing gap relative to surrounding neighborhoods. Appreciation follows infrastructure demand and limited supply, but the hottest areas aren't automatically the right area for you. If you're buying for lifestyle, choose fit. If you're buying for long-term growth, follow development and compression. And if you're investing, buy before perception shifts, not after. If you're considering buying or investing in one of these areas and want help evaluating the micro location and long-term potential, reach out. And if you want more deep dives on Charlotte growth patterns, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next time.